Find simplified form for f of x and list all restrictions on the domain. We have f of x equals x squared minus 1 over x plus 2 divided by the rational expression x squared minus 2x over x squared plus x minus 2. We're going to be finding simplified form, which means we're going to be carrying out the division. We're also going to be listing all restrictions on the domain. Remember that we cannot divide by 0. So whatever value of x will give us a denominator of 0 or division by 0, we will not be able to have in the domain. Let's begin by factoring this, each individual polynomial, and see what we're working with. X squared minus 1 is x plus 1 times x minus 1. And that's over x plus 2. We're dividing by x squared minus 2x is x times x minus 2. And the denominator x squared plus x minus 2 factors into x plus 2 times x minus 1. Now we need to think carefully what the restrictions on the domain are going to be. First of all, we have a denominator of x plus 2, which means that x cannot equal negative 2. We have a denominator here of x plus 2, which means that the same restriction, times x minus 1. This means that x could not equal 1. But when we're dividing, there's one other thing we have to think about. We're dividing by this whole expression, so this expression cannot be 0. This expression is 0 when the numerator is 0. So not only are these two restrictions, but also values of x that make this numerator 0 are also restrictions. So x cannot be 0, and x cannot be 2. Those are all the restrictions on the domain. Keeping that in mind for the end, we will now do this division by multiplying by the reciprocal of the divisor, which is the second rational expression. We read our first rational expression times the reciprocal of the second rational expression. That would be x plus 2 over x minus 1 over x times x minus 2. We write then, multiplying the numerators, we have x plus 1 times x minus 1 times x plus 2 times x minus 1, all over. Multiplying the denominators, we have x plus 2 times x minus 2. Now, are there any factors in common with the numerator and denominator? Yes, I see a factor of x plus 2 in the numerator and denominator, so I can remove that factor that's equal to 1. And I don't see any other common factors that are common to numerator and denominator. So I can write the numerator then as x plus 1, and there are two factors of x minus 1. So I can write that as x minus 1 squared. And the denominator then as x times x minus 2. And that's simplified form. So now I can write f of x equals x plus 1 times x minus 1 squared over x times x minus 2 with the restrictions that x cannot equal negative 2, 0, 1, or 2.